Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Food Yoga International, and you can help me help them by donating to our fundraiser here on Twitch, visiting their website, which I've posted in the chat, or simply by watching my streams and bringing your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. The laundry is done as well. That's what that jingle is. If you enjoyed today's stream, please support my creative work by becoming a Twitch subscriber to remove ads and get cute emotes, joining my Patreon to get illustrated postcards and prints in the mail, or sending me some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to all of these are in my Twitch About section or in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Today is Thursday, and that means it's time for illustration, and I am back to work on my Onomatopoeia bees. We made a lot of great progress so far this week, and I am excited to keep the momentum going. We've got all the bees done, primary shading, and then secondary shading started on the flowers, and now we just got to keep working on those. I think yes, okay, here it is. I'm adding the second layer of shading, and this little flower in the bottom right is the one where I've got some actually added. I wasn't finished with this one though, so that's definitely where we're gonna start today. But seeing it already with fresh eyes, I'm really happy with how it looks. Even though I feel like right here, I want to do something better with this shape here and this shape here, but yay! It's looking really good with, well, in fact, this one's just the shade color because it's all in shadow. So it's going to look even better on the ones that end up with 3 colors because of this base color plus 2 shadow colors. Alright, I'm going to move my keyboard and mouse over to my right so that I can have some room to pull my tablet monitor out and down into my lap. So, I'm using my stylus now. And yeah, overall I think the shading looks fine with this. It's just these 2 little sections here seem a bit off. Maybe what I'll do is first just erase a little bit. Like a curved shape. Something like that perhaps. And then we could also add in what I was doing on the others. These little curved shapes. Come on, mouse. I mean, cursor, not the mouse. I had to use the mouse to get it to respond. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why. It'll just suddenly decide to not detect my stylus. Then if I move the mouse around, it detects it again. It's a mystery. Alright, that might be good. Zoom out, see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's good, sweet. So what else is on this layer? So all these big fluffy ones on the right. Oh, I'm feeling really tired today. I've been upping my exercise, aiming for 13,500 steps a day. And since so much of my work each day is sitting, the only way I've been able to do that is to increase the amount of exercise I do in the morning. So I've been reading on the treadmill and on top of just doing my normal workout. So I'm feeling a lot more tired than usual today, and I think that's got to be it. makes more sense to have the bottoms of these curved upward as if there's a lighter thing blocking it, and that's the reason why the shadow ends. So I'm going to change that on all of these. Okay, so let's go back over here. I'm figuring out the pattern, and with each subsequent flower it gets easier each time. For each one of these little stalks, I'm sort of telling a story in my head. Like this one is in front of this one. This one has some extra petals next to it. And that's what that shape is. So it's just going around the edge of the flower and adding this shading by telling myself the story of each of these in order to determine, what shape should I use? What shape would look good? How much shading would look good? How much is a little too much? Or does it look like too little on this one? Actually, I think this one would be light. Maybe these would be dark. There's a little missing piece here. Hold on, gotta go to Bloom's right. Copy the color. There's a little empty pixel right there. Thought I got them all, but nope. Okay, now we can go back. Get this color back, okay. I suppose some of even these stalks can be in shadow too. Especially on this side of the flower where it's opposite the sun. I don't know if the microphone is capturing that, but Chappie's snoring. Chappie's in the bottom puppy cam. I've been starting to wonder if it might just be easier if I just keep the puppy cams up, regardless of whether I'm doing a physical or digital media piece. But it is troublesome with the lower puppy cam, because right now it's on the area where I put my mouse when I'm working on my physical art. Got the back edge done well. But we've got a kind of desert here where it's relatively flat compared to everything else. So let's add a little bit more, maybe in the same form as we've got here, little lines and W shapes. I'm gonna make the brush a bit bigger. Also gonna have a drink of my barley tea. I had miso soup for lunch, and it's the same batch I made at the beginning of the week, and I've just been having a bowl a day, and it tastes so salty today. not in a bad way, but in a I feel really thirsty way. Okay, and I've definitely had enough water throughout the day because I always track my water using my Garmin watch. And I've already had 48 ounces today. And it's only 2. But if you're thirsty, you should drink. So, that's what I did. And a nice drink of water. Still feels a bit flat. So maybe I need to go more heavy on the back edge. Take it in a bit farther. Right here. Be a bit more bold. Weird, I have a missing section right here. Doesn't look like I did it on purpose. Okay, fill that back in. You can probably hear Aoife snoring even if you couldn't hear Chappie earlier. Aoife's now snoring away. Let's see if that's enough. It's definitely looking a lot better. Now it feels like right here. Just needs a little more of that same kind of treatment. Alright, let's save. I'm using the fans on my PC tower as a warning sign. Just in case. It's looking better and better, but as I move across, I keep seeing more areas. It's like, this is looking good now, but this part looks underworked, so let's work on this a little bit. Let's see. I don't remember exactly what I was looking at. I think it was this one. Hold on, let me make sure. It's confusing. There's so many little flower buds. Okay, yeah, there's this M shape here. This part feels a little bit bare. Like it could have just a bit more definition. Look kind of flat. I think Aoife's having a dream. She's starting to growl a little bit. I think this is another spot where I'm missing pixels. Yep. So let's fix that. I try so hard. And I still end up little missing pixel spots. There we go. Okay, back onto shadow 2. Loosen my watch a little bit. It felt comfy till just now. Suddenly it feels way too tight. There we go. I moved it to a completely different part of my arm. Give my arm a break. Alright, let's zoom out and see. Let's call that good. So the next one is up here on the right. Oh, I feel so tired today. I think actually I meant this to be a green part, because this shape is more like this than this. But I feel disinclined to go back to the green layer. I'm just going to shade it like this. It's way too overwhelming to think of trying to find the edges. What part is flower petals and what part is the green outside part of the bloom. I'm just not going to worry about it. Let's just shade it as is. Doesn't have to be perfect. If the scene looks like bees on flowers, that's all that matters. That's the ultimate goal here. To make it look like a scene of bees and flowers, and that's it. As far as what is being visually depicted by the illustration at this point. The ultimate goal is to teach the onomatopoeia, but we're not to that point yet, so I'm not worrying about that. First, we have to get across the idea that these are bees, and then it will be obvious, oh, bees. That means it's going to be bee sounds. Alright, I have just noticed that this is just like cut off right here. How did I not notice this before? Yeah, that's so weird. Let's add that back. Must have been when I was dividing stuff onto layers. There's just so much going on in this piece, it's really hard to keep track of everything. So that's why I keep finding those little spots of empty pixels, or here a completely missing chunk. Now that's back, so. Let's see. Oh, I'm yawning. I'm so tired. I could just go lay down and take a nap right now. I really could. Alright, so this flower, this bee, is going to be casting a shadow on the flower. So let's get that in there, and then we'll adjust it based on the other shapes after that. So maybe even it would go all the way to the edge. So this is the more ball-shaped bloom. Even if I'm just going to shade it as if it's a flower in full bloom, it's at the point right before reaching full bloom. So I'm going to shade it all the way in, and then we'll erase back. shading based on the idea that it's mostly a sphere. We'll keep that darker. So right here we've got this flower also blocking some light. It's kind of a sharp edge right here. That's definitely better. So now I feel like this area is a little bit too bright. So I'm going to go to shadow 1 and add a little bit more of that. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so that's this big fluffy one, which is actually a spent flower. Kind of becomes like a dandelion at the end. So mostly just need to work this area. So to make it easy, I think I'll just color the whole thing in and erase away. Oops. Did not mean to grab a guide. Well, that seems pretty good, which means we're done with the Bloom's Right layer. So we finished, we finished buds under blooms. Wait, I can tell because there's a shadow 2 layer. Okay, if there's a shadow 2 layer, that means I've done it. Okay, so blooming buds, petals. Ah. So these are the petals on the ones that still have a significant amount of green. It's almost break time though, so I'm just gonna make this new layer. Shadow 2 and clip it. And then go on break. I encourage everyone else to also take this opportunity to get stretched and refreshed. I'm going to put my be right back sign on, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I had a nice stretching session and I'm ready to return to work. Let's see, where did I leave off though? Oh yes, we're now working on the blooming buds petals. Second layer of shading on them. Keep finding these weird mist spots as if I accidentally erased. Oh, and then name this Shadow 1. I just named it Shadow. There. Yeah, I don't know why there's these weird... And they're all over the place. Weird random missing spots. color blast it. There we go. I suppose we can call that one good. So what's next? Ah, this bigger one. It's a similar kind of state. Oh, Satuita is here. Hello! Thank you for posting those millions of franchises you're spinning. How are you? Yay! Glad you could join me for the second half of my stream. Hope you're having a great day. Maybe we can play some Mario Kart later. Server stress test. Oh, I think I got invited to one of that game tester's place. I got invited to a couple of things recently, but they're like, you must join within 3 days and they sent me the invite on Monday, and I'm like, nope, that's not happening. I'm not doing my real work in order to do game testing work for less than pennies an hour or whatever. So I just deleted the emails. My first invite to a test, and I literally can't do it because it's such a short time frame. Oh, new dog sitting client. That's great. You know what kind of dog it is? Did they send you a picture? Is it cute? It's probably cute. Doesn't matter what kind of dog. Doesn't matter if it's breed. It matters if it's dog. That makes it cute. You don't know the dog's name yet. Yeah, it seems really awesome. That seems like the way to do it, too, because if it's sort of like a cold meeting, or however you would describe that, then it's kind of like, for both parties. But if it's sort of, I mean, I don't know if this is how you're getting it, but how you're getting new clients, but if it's recommendation from someone who appreciated your work, then that sort of like vets you are vetted to each other through that mutual contact. Yeah, word of mouth. Seems like the way to go. Only I could get word of mouth to work for my career. But I realized, I think this year, that I've never created something big enough to get people's attention, so I gotta keep working. It's on me to keep working. Keep making stuff until I finally make something big enough to really get people's attention. Oh, it looks so good with those darker dots on the first layer of shadow. It's hard to decide how to handle the bottoms of these. Okay, so I think I'm going to erase some of this. Maybe like here we'll add more. This one's peeking out from behind another one. Yeah. Just gotta have patience. That's the hardest part. Well, not just patience, but also keep working, even though it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. But you've got to keep working. There's no other way. So, that's what I'm doing my best to do. Hang in there. Keep working. It's like this project is no small project. And even though it feels frustrating, actually a lot of the time, how slow it is, when I look at it as a whole, I'm always like, wow, look at all of these images I've made. And I'm only making more. And then eventually I'll have enough for my book to fill my book. And when it's done, it'll feel like, huh, that wasn't as hard as it seemed like. Let's do another one. That's how it is. I found that's how it is not only with art making, but also with my physical training. When I used to do road races all the time. When you're actually doing the race and you're trying to get your best personal time. And it's so hard and you just want to stop. The whole time you just want to stop. You want to stop running. And it's so hard to keep going. And then when you finish and you do stop running, you're like, oh, that was so fun. I would do it again. I can't wait to sign up for the next one. So it's the same thing. So I'm doing a marathon. Oh, this is more like an ultra marathon because this is taking years and years. It's probably going to take even more years. It's the same thing with my novel too. I got a few more paragraphs in on chapter 3, editing chapter 3 today. And that felt like such a huge win because I've been stuck on some sort of, not logistic, but sort of technical questions that I needed to figure out in order for the world to feel believable and deep and well thought out. Well, it's not that I want it to feel well thought out. I want it to feel real, which means it has to be well thought out. So for like a week, I was stuck on this problem. But this week, I keep frittering away my writing time, but with what I've had left, I've still been able to make some progress that feels satisfying. I'm calling it forward progress because it's forward in the story instead of untangling a knot that I encounter as I edit. Maybe this one adds shadow all the way up here. Utilize D&D stuff to help. What are your ideas? Actually, Shump made me a whole Excel spreadsheet calculator so that I can calculate the ages of my Griffin characters using all this data. We figured what the base Griffin would be, and it's all based on real world animal max ages, max known ages, and then converting that into human years and then converting that into Griffin years. And that was the most recent problem I was encountering because I literally had a question in the script or in the manuscript. How old is the main character Griffin? And I couldn't answer. I didn't want to pick just some random number. I wanted it to feel meaningful. So now I have a meaningful age. I could just move on now. Oh yeah, I use dice. Just throw the dice and come up with an age. That's just as legitimate a way when you're making a fantasy world out of nothing. Shading, this is so hard. This one's so hard for some reason around here. Maybe if I add a little bit more highlight on this part. Oh, I don't know. This does look like one big block of shadow, so maybe I'll just do little lines. A little bit of light hitting. Something like that. Maybe I'll do a similar thing to this on the bottoms here, too. Oh, you've fried the morel mushrooms with spinach. They taste how the mountain smells. Well, it makes sense, because isn't that where they come from? Makes sense. Did you have that today? I had mushrooms today too. I had my miso soup. I made a big batch of miso soup at the beginning of the week. And it had the mixed mushroom blend in it. So the shimeji, oyster, shiitake, white button, and maybe some other kind of mushroom too. But it's just a frozen mushroom blend. So simple, just throw it in the pot, frozen, boil it with everything else. Oh, that helped so much. Yay! Adding just those two little lines right here and adding a little bit of shadow there. I feel much better about that. Maybe we'll add a little bit more here too, because the sun is coming from this direction. Oh, still so tired today. I've been yawning through this whole stream. It's because I did speed run today. Sort of. It was called a mixed pace run. So it was 3 minutes at a level 7 out of 10 pace, which is, I don't remember what it was in the heart rate zone. I was using the heart rate training. But it's a 7 out of 10, with 10 being your max heart rate. For 3 minutes, then 2 minutes break, then 2 minutes on 80% of max heart rate or something, or like level 8 out of 10. That's not exactly how it equates, but anyway, level 8 out of 10 for 2 minutes, 2 minutes break, and not break, not like stopping, you're still jogging at like a level 4, and then 1 minute at a level 9 out of 10, and then you repeated that 3 times. Oh, yay, I'm so happy. I'm happy to hear that. I always want to motivate people or inspire them or whatever. Oh, good. Yeah, streaming has been key to me getting my illustration work done. So even though I admit sometimes it's really lonely here when I'm the only one and just talking to myself for 2 hours, it's still worth it because of how helpful it is in just getting my work done. So I'm glad I could help you too. Add a little bit more onto the shadow 1 layer now that I've done so much on the shadow 2 layer. Oops. I've been trying to think of how can I find something like live streaming for my writing work, because I keep finding excuses not to do my writing work, and it'll be stuff like, well, I'm eating lunch right now. So today I was like, you know what, you eat lunch and you work on it at the same time. So I did. I had my keyboard a little bit farther forward, and then I had my salad and then my bowl of miso soup right in front of me, and I'm like taking a bite, reading the next few sentences, editing, take a bite, read some sentences, and edit. So I'm trying to find a way to get this same, what is the word? It's not motivation, it's something that I can't make an excuse. I'm trying to find a way that I can't make excuses. But I cannot live stream writing. That's not going to work. That is not going to work for me. That is a completely different process. Well, not 100% different. There is actually a lot of overlap with my illustration process, but yeah, I need to really be able to think and concentrate. It's not something I can live stream. So you think you're gonna work on that piece? That I assume that piece you sent me yesterday was what you worked on, right? You gonna work on it some more? That commission piece? Maybe I should just live stream my writing. I'll just put on there, no chat. And my screen is kind of blurred or something because I don't want to show the story yet. It's not ready to show. It's no showing the story. writing stream. Could do it. It's not like I have hundreds and hundreds of fans that are looking forward to my illustrations, and they will be totally miffed if I started live streaming some other creative thing instead. You know, I don't have that to worry about. Everybody who watches me is super supportive no matter what I do, even if I do the occasional gaming stream. Romanticizing it. Yeah. I was imagining. I think that's actually what got me to do it today. The romanticizing, because yesterday I had the same problem. My lunch was taking a while to eat, so I just watched YouTube videos while I was eating. And then afterwards, when I was like, I don't have any writing time, I was like, what? I was imagining myself from a third-person perspective. You know, having my salad and my soup next to me. They can't go next to me because my process journal goes there. But that's how it was in the imagination. Next to me, and I've got my keyboard, and there's my story on the screen, and I'm, you know, taking a bite with one hand and typing with the other hand, and how dreamy that would be. So yeah, maybe I should do a little visualization meditation. Or what actually really works for me is not just visualization, but writing it out. So maybe I'll do that. Write out exactly what I'll do. Because I've got like, it worked really well today. The only thing that is still eating into my writing time is that it takes time to prepare my food. Even though I make the soup ahead of time, I gotta make the salad ahead of time. The greens will be all wilty and gross. So, but if I work out the details like that, maybe that will help. All right. You gave me some other messages too. Let me look at those. Oh, you're going to work on that one again today. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still remember the last big commission project I did, and it was those multiple D&D characters. And the person who commissioned it was getting really impatient, and I totally understand why, because I was taking years to do it, and it was my own fault because I didn't realize that they were asking me to do the character design as well. They weren't just asking me to draw their existing character designs in my style. They wanted me to design the characters too, which is took way more time, and I didn't know how to do it, so I was figuring it out, which is also more time because I was learning as I was doing it, and it ended up taking like 5 years or something. And yeah, for one, if I ever get some commission like that, I am charging for research and development if that's what they want to include. And for two, I'm definitely more aware of how long things actually take me, so I'll be able to give them a better timeline and also charge more appropriately for that time. So it'll be good for you to get that off the list. Get that check mark off the list. Could also set up a DJ type session. Turn off the recording for people to watch later. Won't get DMCA hits. Share what music you're into lately. Well, maybe, for one, I wouldn't record it for... If I were to do it for writing, I wouldn't record it anyway, because it's not that interesting. So... I don't think I have 2 hours worth of music. But I do have the music that I made on Suno that was specifically inspired by my story. So I could just play that music in the background, and then I wouldn't even have to worry about those. Okay. And I have haven't even really been into any music recently. I just am listening to my favorite soundtracks on the Nintendo Music app. That's pretty much all I listen to these days. Nice big refreshing drink of my tasty barley tea. Yeah, I kind of turned off of Spotify recently, which is where I was listening to most of my music. And so that's why I've been listening mostly to the Nintendo Music app, because Spotify has all these autoplay videos and stuff, and that's very sensorily overwhelming for me, and it immediately dampens my mood and makes me feel frustrated and even confused. Like, because when I'm looking at it, it's just all of this stuff coming into my eyes. And it's hard to even explain how frustrating it is, because apparently that's what most people expect on the internet when they're on the internet these days, is just this barrage of light and movement and color just constantly. Like, I can't do that. This is why I like books. I like to look at one thing at a time at my pace, and it's not also accompanied with auto-playing sound and these other things to engage my other senses, and just sort of, it almost feels like it's designed to entrap you, to make you freeze and feel so overwhelmed that you have no choice but to just like zombie out and look at what they want you to look at instead of what you went in there for. So I haven't even been using Spotify recently, not even for my writing playlist, which I used to listen to every single time I write, but not anymore. I've just been listening to nothing when I write, which is fine, because sometimes I actually want it to be quiet. I don't always need music playing. I think that shading is good on that flower, so I'm going to call that one good. What's the next one? Ah, this little one above it. Well, little, it's like a medium size. Yeah, I was just reading about it in today's, I think it was today's reading session for How Not to Die, the book I've been reading. I don't remember what the context was, why it was talking about this, but it mentioned how stores are literally designed, and I know this is a fact because I used to work for a grocery store chain, and I heard it firsthand from the people making the decisions that they purposefully designed the layout of the store to be overwhelming and exhausting, so that by the time you get to the checkout counter, your willpower and your decision making, it's called decision fatigue, it's completely depleted, and that's why it's so easy to just grab that candy bar or whatever it is at the checkout line, because they have purposefully depleted your willpower and your decision making ability. So the same thing is happening on Spotify now with all of these, like, it'll just start playing videos and podcasts and stuff, and they don't even have anything to do with anything I'm interested in. So it's extra frustrating because of that. I just realized I'm using the wrong color. So let's erase what I just did and then go collect the correct color. So yeah, I haven't been using Spotify, and there's not really any other music service that I am interested in. We have Amazon Prime, so I guess I could check out what's on Amazon Prime, since we already have the service for the other features. But Spotify used to be my main, so it kind of feels like I don't have any music anymore. Unless I'm on my PC. If I'm on my PC, I've got all my ripped soundtracks and everything, and I'm good there. Plenty of good music to listen on my PC. Yep. But that's pretty much true of any online platform. I'm not too worried about that, because it's so ubiquitous that it's like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do with that information? I don't really think that I'm that special that they care that much. And I'm aware of their tactics, so I am a little bit more immune to the attempts to get me to do an impulse purchase or whatever they're trying to trick me into, or just spending time at, like, I don't scroll on my phone or on my computer, period. I weaned myself off of that habit, and impulse purchases are a thing of the past for me as well, because last year was my big, I didn't realize it would be this. I just wanted to pay off my credit card debt, but it ended up teaching me how to relate to money in a more healthy way. And now I just have no interest whatsoever in, like, random stuff to buy. So that's good, but it still doesn't help with, like, the sensory overwhelm on so many platforms. Like, I'll be looking for a recipe. This happened just, I think, either this weekend or even this week. I was just looking for a specific kind of recipe to get ideas, to glean some ideas from what other people were doing. And all the recipe blogs are so chock full of ads that I can't even get to the recipe. I'm like, no, forget it. It's not worth it. I'm not even going to scroll to the recipe because it's so full of ads and pop-ups, and they keep coming back. So it's really, really frustrating sometimes. It looks pretty good, but I think it needs a little bit more shadow in the center part. I do like having this little star in the middle because this is where the more petals are going to come out. Let's add a few more, just to increase the dimensionality. So maybe some petals are closer to folding out than others, so that's why they've got a little bit more shadow happening. Yeah, I'm liking it. Let's add a little bit more. And also, let's save. We haven't saved in a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Yay! Keep going, keep going. Got about 10 minutes left in the stream. Oh, let's tackle this little tiny one. I love it when these little tiny ones come up because some of the big ones are really overwhelming and I feel very drained after working on it. So these little ones are a lovely little break. Let's see if that's enough. It's so small. That might be enough. Maybe a little bit more in the... I thought it might need more, but I need to check first. So, there. A little bit more there. Yay! Another one done. Okay, what's next? Oh, a biggie. We'll see if we can finish it in 9 minutes. Honestly, I don't expect to, but we just gotta start it and see. Start it and see. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Let's undo that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm yawning again. Yawning again. Thank you again for joining me, Satuita, because I feel a lot more lively since you joined. It was really hard until that point. It's like, come on, you can do it. My brain was like, just skip your stream. Just go ahead and skip it. You can skip it. You have the power. It's like, no. Someone might come to the stream. And also, skipping it doesn't make me get any closer to done with this project. Yeah. It's hard to feel motivated. And they tell you, and I believe in this, that it's more about setting the habit up. And I think that's part of the reason why it's not that easy for me now to skip a stream. It's actually easier to just go ahead and do it, even when I've got, low mood or whatever you want to call it, tired or whatever the issue is that day. It's now actually easier just to go ahead and stream. Go ahead and make that progress. So I need to find a way to make that habit happen for my writing. I am a lot better than I had been when I first started having a writing practice. It was really hard back then because I'd never wrote like this before. Like with the intent of making it a career and being a professional. But now I've been doing it for several years. Slow going. But I really like what I'm creating, so I'm excited for when it's finished. I just gotta keep working on it, otherwise it won't be finished. Let's bring this one all the way up. Yeah. Do the same. Bring it all the way up. Okay. Maybe this won't have to take as long as I thought it would. Looks pretty good, but it feels really broken up. So I'm gonna shade this whole area in, and then we'll pull back if we need to. There's only a couple minutes left, so I'm not gonna get this done today. That's okay though, we'll be back for illustration next week. Get right back to it. Tomorrow's Friday, so it's different. It's a different stream tomorrow. Oh, nice. Yay. That was designed originally to be a gaming laptop, too. It's great that it can have another life with you and still fulfill its purpose. Getting closer and closer to what I think is gonna look nice when I zoom out. But we've got seconds to go, so I don't think I'm gonna finish it today. Maybe this is a good stopping point. Yeah, it definitely needs more work, so hopefully I will remember on Tuesday next week when I come back to this that I'm working on the flower that's in the dead center of the piece. They want photos of tickets. Interesting. I have tons of tickets. 'Cause I save all my tickets. You mean like to a concert and stuff? I gotta save them for memories. What's it? Souvenir? Memorabilia? I don't know what to call it. I like to save my ticket stubs. Alright, let's save. Oh, all types. Cool. Well, I have some time this weekend. Maybe I'll remember to log on and see if there's anything I can do. I didn't get an invite for that, though, so. Alright. That's going to be it for today's live stream. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for everything you do to support Studio Mikarts. If you're new to my channel and want to see more, please follow Studio Mikarts on Twitch to get notified next time I go live. You can also support me by becoming a Twitch subscriber to get ad-free viewing and cute emotes, joining my Patreon for lovely illustrated goodies in the mail, or sending some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. All the links are in my Twitch About section and in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Tomorrow I will be back, same time as usual, for Chibi Friday. I'm going to start my next subscriber badge, so I'm pretty excited about that. I hope to see you then, but either way, let me wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching!